So fuck it, we're going live now.
Yeah, that's a good point. I still have to get the speaker stuff figured out, but that's okay. You can. It always takes me a minute.
It always does. And it's good because it's kind of cool to see all the horses out today. We're live. Fun Day Friday, free coaching Friday, however you want to look at it. Every Friday around the 1 o'clock hour, Daniela at Artemis Hill Farm up in upstate New York. And I do a free coaching session, whether it's just her and I talking about things that are important and to ourselves, or things that are actually topics that are meaningful to people in our audiences and our followers, and in the world, really, because there's a lot going on in this world right now. And it's Friday, November 10th. We got Veterans Day this weekend. We've got a lot of things going on. When guess what? We're gonna say it. I'm gonna say the H word, guys. We're coming into the holidays. Don't know. We don't want to love it. Another freaking holidays. So it's really important that you're here. If you're watching, make sure you're commenting. Daniela has some incredible horses. She and I have been working together for several years, and this is such a great format. Once she gets all kind of set up and squared away, I'm going to focus on the horses in this arena, and we're going to talk about probably, you know what, boundaries keeps coming up for me and keeps coming up for me. So, we're gonna keep talking about boundaries. In fact, I have it written down here on my board.
Yes, I have it.
The 6 C's of a healthy boundary. So there's obviously, something happening here where boundaries keep coming up and boundaries keep coming up, and people that don't respect their own boundaries attract people that don't respect their own boundaries. And so I want you to think about, let me spell the words for you. People that don't respect their THEIR own boundaries have other people that don't respect their own boundaries, THERE. So I want you to think about that for a second. If you don't have boundaries that you uphold and that you put in line with, you attract people that will crush your boundaries. Crush. More kids in the hall, I'm crushing your head. So that's what it'll feel like in the beginning. I'm going through that right now, as a matter of fact, and it's kind of cool where you can. And I love doing these videos so much because the horses really bring the topics to light in such a unique way. And you're like, oh, you kind of like remember those old '80s commercials. You're like, I should have had a V8. Say like I should have had something healthier than the Snickers bar. Or turn us into Betty White kind of thing. So I want you to think about that. When you take a step back and you can watch these videos and you can see how these horses interact, especially when we talk about the topic of boundaries, because and I don't normally discuss like what we're going to do ahead of time with these sessions, because it's really raw and real and very interventionistic, if that's a word, but it is now. I'm just going to make it up. But today it was important to me that we had a conversation about what that looks like. Because we have a guest today. Amy, thank you very much for joining us. I don't know if you can still hear me or not. But Daniela is chiming back in here with another camera, another something. I don't know what she's doing. But anyway, we're going to get things set up, and Amy's going to be joining us. And sometimes when we work with new people, it's really easier. I've worked with Amy, briefly when I was in New York a while back. But when I say new people, it's like you're not a seasoned horseman. You haven't been around horses very much and that kind of thing. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to bring her into the page again. And so we're like, all right, we don't know what your level of confidence around horses is. And, you say, oh, well, they're just out in the ring. They're not doing anything. But let's face it, they don't call it horsepower for nothing. Horses can go 45 miles an hour, turn on a dime, bite you, kick you, buck you off, throw you on the ground. I mean, I've had a serious injury with a horse. It wasn't one of my horses. No one has ever been serious, like take to the hospital kind of injury with any of my horses ever, and the same with Daniela's horses. They're all very safe, they're all very safe. And so that's really important to understand that aspect of it. So when we play with the horses today, Amy's going to be out there, but we're not going to like throw her to the lions. We're going to put her out there in a way that the learning becomes fun, because learning and growing, like where it's like no pain, no gain, no, pain equals lots of gain. You don't have to go through pain We say life is suffering, but that's only when you choose to suffer. And the reason we choose to suffer is so we can get contrast on what we don't want, so we can get clarity about what we do want. Right. And it looks like Danielle is having a little bit of a issue, but I hope this, even just me talking about this, is resonates with you, and we can get out with the horses in a way that you can see clearly. So like, if you ever come down here to Florida and work with one of my horses like Dante, if you don't have boundaries with him, he's going to eat you for breakfast. So she's texted me right now asking me if it's her. Not sure. I think it's her. Yeah. So because my live is still going. So if you're watching, let's throw some comments in here. Is there a time in your life you should have expressed a boundary and you didn't? Have you ever walked away from a conversation and said, "Oh, I really wish I had said this to that bitch," or "I wish I had said that," or "I wish I'd done this," right? Because we don't always, and that's where like text conversations can really get us into trouble, because we don't say what's actually in our heart. We gives us time to get in our head, and sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes it's not such a good thing, because when you get in your head, you don't respond in a way that's actually true. But then you also have to unbalance that with, am I saying this in a way that is thoughtful, or am I just reacting? So we don't rise to our potential. We fall to our level of training. Any good person, any great athlete, or a lot of times like the Navy SEALs will tell you that. Like, that's here comes Daniela again. Yay! So it's really important to get that piece of information down where you understand it in such a powerful way. So when we get out there with the horses, knowing that these animals can actually do things, like look at him go, like he just out of the blue. Look at that, Bourbon just out of the blue, just jumped around, and now they're all trotting around, like why? So Daniela is going to actually go in the ring with them, and I'm going to full screen her on that. So let's see what I can do here to do solo layout. So now you'll be able to hear me, but you'll only be able to see the horses. So just to give you a little introduction, the horse with white on his belly, that's Scotty Too Hottie, the little rotund quarter horse type. He's so cute. And he's a paint, and I'm not sure if he's registered or not, but he sure does he's got registered attitude. Look at him. See how fast they can just all of a sudden start moving? So paying really close attention to what you're doing with the horses. So Daniela's going to go down, and there's Scotty, who has the white on his legs. He's got the white kicking, and he's the one that's trotting around like, going, what the heck did I get myself into? And then Rose, who's the red horse.
Can you hear me, Jen?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, but it's freezing a little. There we go. There we go. So now Daniela's got that. She's smart. She's got the mounting block in there. That's kind of a fun
her now either.
I can hear you.
What's that?
The line is still going, but I don't hear her either.
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm here.
I hear you. Do you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yay. Awesome. So Danielle is out there now. I love that she's got the mounting block, because that's going to be sort of where, like, home base. I don't know about you, but my dad had like his favorite chair when I was a kid, like that. Nobody sat in Dad's chair, So she's kind of has her chair now, and make sure it's nice in the center of the round pen. Make sure the mounting block is in the center of the round pen, like where the gate, and like there's no, so it's not to one side or the other. And I love that Bourbon and Rose are over there like what? Okay, so now we got Scotty Too Hottie over here getting curious about what we're going to do. And we're going to play and move the energy around a little bit, right? And look at this, Daniela. This is really great. Thank you for going into the explanation that the stick and string that she has, we call them carrot sticks, because carrots don't work by themselves and sticks don't work by themselves. If you have too much carrot, you're a pushover. You got too much stick and you're a tyrant. So you really need to make sure that you are balancing those two things together. And it's hashtag not a whip. It is a tool, communication tool, because horses have long bodies and we have tall bodies. Like he would have to walk 4 feet to get from his nose to his tail. And the stick, incidentally, is 4 feet long, so she can touch him. So that's Scotty. the white. Now Rose is the red one that's just behind Scotty now. So she came from a rescue in South Florida, and she was a part of my programs for a while, and now she is part of Daniela's herd. And she's your typical chestnut thoroughbred mare. Yep, she's a thoroughbred. Raced a little, didn't want a ton of money, but she did race and win a few times. So she's pretty fast and very, very athletic. And then behind her in the dark Bourbon Bay here, he's with a world champion winning harnessed horse, broke some world records, really fast as a trotter. If you see those little trotting carts, harness carts behind horses. So trotting, they're taught to trot, and these are, and pace. So these kind of horses she didn't really do much. Did you do anything with the stick or anything, or just kind of just stand there? Just standing there, right?
It was a simple.
Yeah, it's just very simple, right? So we're going to play a little game. And what I want Amy and what I want you doing is observing the different behaviors. Like, look at Bourbon getting all frisky and feisty. That's so fun to see him do that because he's generally kind of an introvert, him to move, and especially to canter, right? And if Scotty goes on, go ahead and send Scotty on with your stick, just gently. Look at that behind your back, stinker. Look at this. They're kind of like, this is amazing. So here's the game. They're all going to the right. Now the game is we don't care if they canter, but we want them to go when we ask them to, not when just they want to. Right. And so if Scotty comes in, you're going to say, not like that, Scotty. You didn't bring me a bottle of wine. You're being kind of ridiculous. And Amy, this is why you're not in there right now. Like, because where Daniela is, like, she's up on the mountain block, which is smart and clever. But even if she wasn't, there's a lot of energy moving in the corral right now. A lot of hooves flying, a lot of changes of direction, a lot of people chase horses changing their mind about what they want to do and how they want to show up. And every time they turn around and kind of stick their butt towards the middle, they give a little towards Daniela, which is kind of cute and funny, but it's sort of like you sticking your tongue out at the teacher when her back's to the chalkboard, right? Or when her back's to the classroom. See what he's doing? And he comes into your space. And especially with Scotty, because he tends to be a little bit of a Lord Fauntleroy. And Bourbon, who is your maverick, is so anytime Scotty comes in too close and he comes into where you could tag him, I want you to give him not a great big tag, but a nice little flick. Just like tag, like right there would be a good place to tag. Overhanded. Remember, it's always overhanded. None of this under the belly shit. They're not going to kick you under the belly. They're going to kick you in the head. There you go. Just a little bit. And Bourbon's doing it too, but he's doing it at the same spot. He's doing it at your 1 o'clock, right? So at your 1 o'clock, now he's turned. Now you're 3 o'clock maybe. Over here to your right shoulder. If you're looking directly at the little round table, he does his little flip off thing at 1 o'clock. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I can't really focus on what you're saying because there's a lot happening here.
Yep. Watch for the patterns of behavior. Anytime Scotty comes in, tagging. Like Scotty's coming in.
I can't do that. I can't do it. I feel the need to just calm myself.
Then just push the energy out towards him if you can. Like right there, yeah, that's fine. Because right now they need to be not near you because they're being ridiculous. Like, you don't get to act like that in my backyard. This is kind of exactly what we're talking about with boundaries, right? And it's tough when life is happening and a lot of things are going on and there's a lot of energy and a lot of indecision and a lot of chaos to stand in your centered truth. There you go. Good. Same thing with Bourbon. Now, it doesn't take hardly anything with Rose, but Scotty, on the other hand, takes a little bit more because he's a little pushier with his decisiveness on taking advantage of you. And you guys, when you were setting up the camera, that's exactly what I was talking about. So this could not be a better demo. There, tagging Scotty, right? That's better. Overhanded next time if you can. I get that you're doing what you need to do. Just giving you information if you can absorb it. If not, no problem. But Amy, you can see clearly that that's why you're not in the ring right now either, right? Because that just would be one more set of information, more energy, more different things. But when you do come down and work with one of them, did you tell her which horse she's going to work with? Nobody's coming in yet. No. Nobody gets to come in yet. And then send me back out. Because he's got to work a little. He's got to work a little bit more for it. Like all this coming in, and making assumptions. He has to ask a little bit differently than he has in the past. Now he's lost. We say that he's lost privileges. That's better. Now this is what we want. This is kind of a better conversation. It's people. The horses aren't talking over one another. Now keep them moving. Turn and tag Scotty on the shoulder if you can. Tagging. There you go. Now, did you tag him? Make sure you tag him. And this is not where he gets to come in. This is where he needs to learn that he can be out there too. This is really important for all three of these guys at this moment. So as long as they're moving forward, a walk is fine. A trot is better. As long as they're moving forward, you can be on the mounting block. But the game is, if they stop moving forward, you got to come off the mounting block. Oh my goodness. Get up out of your chair, right? And now with Rose, you can go ahead and just gently send her. That's easy. Good. Now, Scotty, if he comes in, I want a little tag on that shoulder. The shoulder is the part of the body that the front legs are attached to. And I say that for emphasis because when you get in there and a lot of things are happening, we can sometimes forget. Like I said earlier, we tend to fall to our level of training. We do not rise to our potential. So now the game is, as long as we're walking or trotting and not coming into your space, I will be quiet in the center. This is a very simple concept. But with those three different energies out there and those three different personalities out there, you have to show up three different ways because now you have three people and it can feel really terrifying, especially if you have somebody doing like what Bourbon's doing. He's basically, watch Scotty, and I don't care which direction at this time, tagged Scotty, tagging, go ahead and tagging. There you go. And then get back on your block. There you go. You kind of know this game. Good. Now Scotty's over there sniffing Bourbon's fuck off. There you go. Good. And it's easier to just go after the area that where their behavior, not the horse. We weren't going after it. Now Bourbon's sniffing his poo. He stopped a poo a minute ago, basically giving you the bird, right? I got time. As long as they're walking and trotting, don't change the rules. As long as they're walking and trotting and they're going around and being like good little boys and girls and getting the conversation, get in the boat with the conversation. Because before it's all that's fun and it's fun to watch those kind of lively conversations, but we don't want to have those kind of lively conversations all the time. There you go. Good. And so there's that poo right there that Bourbon sniffed and Scotty sniffed. So just know that that's there. It's not ideal. They walked by it this time. Great. Now he's coming in off the circle a little. Push your energy towards that shoulder and say, not yet. I'm not ready for you yet. The party hasn't started yet. And if he does that, go ahead and overhanded tag him on the shoulder. And
can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So my concern is I'm going to go to tag Scotty and Bourbon's going to freak out.
So what?
Because he's right there and he's so sensitive.
That's okay. You can't own someone else's response to your truth. And this conversation is about him. And if he decides to take it personally and react instead of respond, then that's just new information. This is great. So you should be on at least standing on the steps or being on your mounting block. Even sit down. Like I would just, I would sit down. Your back starts to hurt. Fuck that. Sit down, relax. Let them do their thing. Right. And now if you have to do something, it will be that much more impactful because we stand in our truth and we don't take shit from anybody. And we're not going to take crap from Scotty, who's actually just asking you if he can have another sandwich. He's like Oliver Twist. Can I have some more? He just wants to get out of doing his circles. Right. And if Bourbon freaks out when you talk to Scotty, then that's on Bourbon because you're not putting the energy towards him at all. Right. There you go. A little trust is perfect because they're just going in a circle. Now, if Scotty stays in off the rail, we'll start having a conversation about that. but one little bit off the rail for 5 seconds, I'm not going to pick on that too much because you don't do this that often. And it's new information for them too. So we need to have a conversation at their level while maintaining our boundaries and getting the desired result, which is we are going to have a conversation about what circles look like, how to maintain responsibility, and how to respect my boundaries. What trifecta, a win-win-win for Daniela, because this is important that they are able to do this. Now, how long should they be out there and walk around? I don't know. We're going to ask them to trot here in a second, and you're going to only ask Scotty to trot. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to point your finger to the left, and you're going to walk up and tag him on the shoulder if he doesn't do it. Yep. So just point your finger to the left. Be only talking to Scotty. Don't worry about what the other horses do. This conversation is an A-B conversation, right? And then now 3 times. Soft. There you go. Now relax and go back and go sit back on your stool. Now we don't care. We don't care if they canter. They don't have to canter. We actually just would prefer a trot. There we go. Very nice. And we don't care for how many laps. We're just going to see. This is a good observation. See how many laps they'll go. Now, Scotty has Rose and Bourbon's kind of support. You know, they're kind of keeping the whirlpool going because he would rather walk. So he did about 7/8 of a lap. So now we're going to put it on and play a game with it. Now we have conversation going. We have boundaries being respected. We have information flowing from you and him. So now we're going to play a game. Yep, that's perfect. If that's the spot, you're going to ask him to trot. And you're going to only talk to Scotty and your energy and don't worry about what the other ones are doing. And then just allow him to be. And now he started trotting just as he passed the right trailer over behind your right shoulder. So there was a little bit better. And I just leave him be as long as they're trotting. Just leave him be as long as they're trotting.
He was off the rail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's fine too. Just careful that we don't pick on him too much. But you're right. You're doing good things. All right. There's your walk. Now ask for the trot. Good. There. Very nice. What? So let's see if we can get a little bit more than 7/8 of a lap without having to get up off what we're doing. We got about 7/8 of a lap. So that's where your threshold is. That's where they feel like their limit is. So let's see if we can't get a lap and a quarter, only talking to Scotty. Now good. Only to the left now. Go. Yeah, get him. Look how he screwed everything up. Don't worry about Rose and Bourbon. Only Scotty matters. Go to the left. To the left. To the other left. To your left. See if you can switch him and change directions to the left. Only worry about Scotty. The other two will fall in line. Yep, that's fine. Just Scotty. All the way back to the rail. Keep backing, because you'll catch him eventually. Back in a straight line. There you go. Now we're left. Don't worry about Rose. She'll go. Good job. Very nice. The beautiful thing about that was that they turned towards you instead of away from you, which is really very telling about your relationship that you have with them. Good. Now he's walking, that's where his spot is. Right, there you go. Now we can play this game until we get what? Scotty. Scotty's the instigator in this. You know, he's the one that's starting.
Can't hear you. I don't know if that speaker is dying.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's in the loft on the counter. It's not you.
Ready?
But go out.
Now tagging, right. And give him a good tag. Give him, next time he does it, I want you to tag 3 times. 1, 2, 3. All right. And he likes to turn there. That's where he likes to change directions.
I don't know if you can hear me, Jen, but the speaker went out. So I think the battery is dying.
Tag Scotty. Can you hear me? Tag Scotty. Thank you. I don't know if you heard. There we go. So we have a little bit of a little bit of technical difficulties, which we have from time to time here. It's just a part of it. But we're looking at what we're looking at here. If you are watching, because Daniela can't see me at the moment. So this is about winning the game. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
The speaker keeps going in and out. She went to get the charger.
Okay.
But I didn't hear a lot, and
that's okay.
I was gonna start calling them in.
No, not yet. You have not won the game. We're getting there, but we're not. He's still pushing. So what we want is him, only Scotty. Don't worry about Bourbon or Rose. This conversation is about him. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 with the stick next time, please. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep, there you go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Up. You got too far in front of him. That's all. That's okay. Just out of position a little. Don't worry about Bourbon. There you go. Don't get caught up and turn back around. Now let's get the trot. This is where we want him to go left. There you go. Go ahead and just, yep. There you go. Good. 2, 3. Yep. Good.
And just bring the speaker up over there. You're going to have to plug it into the white and then plug the white into the green, if that makes sense.
Thanks, Amy.
But then plug the white into the green. Yeah, you could put the computer onto the white too.
One, 2, 3. There you go. And you can go ahead and run out to that rail and tag the rail, but make it a bigger deal. Like he's still thinking like, nah. 1, 2, 3. Right. And then go back to sitting back down. He's just, he makes you work for it. And he's not going to change his character.
Just face the speaker to me. Still doing it? You might have to flip the switch on the white. Is there a switch on the white thing?
Oh, you mean on? Yeah, got it.
Okay.
This is where you can use, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, great. This is where you can use the, now go get him. Tag, tag, tag. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Went not to the right, you stink pot. Yeah. Because he's really convinced that you don't care about doing circles as much as he cares about not doing them.
What the fuck? Why isn't it working?
Now he's not trotting. And he's going to the right. Make sure you're behind him so he doesn't turn. There you go. And then 1, 2, 3. There's a game we can play with the quadrants when it's easier when it's one-on-one, because we're using this right now as an opportunity to use those horses, use the other horses to help you. He's walking. 1, 2, 3. Right. And this is something you need to put on a protocol with him for at least a week. Every day for a week, he needs to come out and do this. And I don't care if you bring the other horses, although it's helpful because they're kind of keeping him going. And that's kind of that peer group support. But it's like his ideology about what he thinks you thinks of you is meh. I'll walk if I freaking feel like it. There you go. And he does it, and he calls you out every single time you play. Walking, go, tagging, and he walks there every single time, right? He walks there every single time. Now go tag him again. He's walking.
God damn it.
There, now, yeah, there you go, guys. Thanks for the help. There you go. I'm like, dude, we're gonna get through to you. If this takes I've never seen it take more than 2 days. We're gonna make an improvement for you to learn that you are not going to mash my boundaries. And my boundaries are when I sit in my circle, if I say trot, you freaking trot. Now, there's a reason for this because he turns into kind of a jerk when he decides he doesn't want to do stuff. And now we're saying trot, and he's cantering, he's barrel kind of trotting with an attitude. And what are the other horses doing? Just kind of along for the ride, right? So now at least he's going. And how long do we allow him to go? When he decides that your idea is a good idea. We're not going to let him stop when he still thinks your idea is a dumb, stupid idea. Now we need to understand his idea first, and you do that every single day. You're very thank you, Rose. You see how she's like, you're supposed to be going, sir. He understands the assignment. He does not. But every time she's telling him to keep going, it's him saying, I got your back, Daniela. Scotty, what is your problem? All he does is want you to trot. Who was that? Was that Scotty?
Yes.
There you go. So Rose is helping you a ton. She's tried to kick him twice. Lazy rotundo. Now, no one gets to come in because we all know it's okay if Rose and Bourbon are out there for a little while until, turn around and tag him. He's not done yet. Tag him 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Tag. Hard. 1, 2, 3. Nice try, buddy. Thank you. Now tag him again if you can. That's all this nonsense. Overhand. There you go. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Then let's sit back down and relax. Rose is like, dude, do you not pay attention to her? She said go. Teacher's pet. So that's where this is so helpful to have this beautiful energy. Now, if Rose wants to come in, that's fine, but she has to act appropriately, meaning she can't get scared or worried if you start moving around, then she can go back out. So like I said, don't worry about what she's doing. This is not about her. But look at him move. How much have you seen him move this much in like a month? Yeah. So here in a second, you're going to be able to bring him in. But if you brought him in that earlier time, we wouldn't have gotten to this breakthrough. Good. Now, there we go. Do we see the difference? He's committed to the cause now. Rose is helping him. Look at her. Look at her. She's like, get in line, buddy. And when I say tag him, this is what I'm talking about.
Did you say call them in now?
Oh, not yet. Not yet. If Rose wants to come in, she can. But don't invite anybody. I want everybody to get really clear about what you're asking them to do because they are not clear. Rose is over here kicking Scotty's ass, helping you out, right? She's got your back right now. Look at her behind him, biting at him, kicking at him, moving him forward. There we go. We got to wait for that jackpot, baby, till they commit. They aren't committed until they hit buy now. And he hasn't bought yet. He's still reading the freaking web page and checking for idiosyncrasies in your pricing. He's looking for the loophole. And he's got Rose out there helping you out big time. He's like, damn. See? See what she just did there? This is why we wait. She's out there tagging him for you. This is amazing. I love watching this stuff. Look at Bourbon. Don't worry about what Bourbon's doing. He's just along for the ride. We could have him exit stage left too. Not yet. Keep going. We didn't say tag, 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 tag. Yeah. Like she's still biting. There you go. But now she's not behind him. Let's see what happens now that the order has changed. There we go. We're not looking for a gallop. We're not looking for you guys to run your hooves off. We just want a nice little easy jog on a breezy afternoon. That's all we want. There we go. Now do you feel like he has the assignment? Or do you feel like he's still being a sneaker? Now let's see what happens here. Does he go or does he keep trotting? Ho ho! Okay, now you can call him in. Just him. The others come fine. Just him.
Hey.
And then if he
Hey guys.
he goes by it's a round table, sit back down and relax. Now sit back down and relax. That was his invitation. He should have booked and bought now. He missed the window. He can go back to delivering pizzas and thinking he's hot shit. Just because he has speakers in his car. All right, now ask him in again. There you go.
Scotty. He's not even looking at me.
Away. That's no, he's not. You just yelled at him for an hour to say get the fuck away from me.
Come on, Mama. Good girl.
And he can
Good
come
girl,
in.
Mama.
Everybody can come in, and it's all going to be a nice little thing.
Good
Now
girl.
she can be in. That doesn't mean that it changes the game with Scotty. Scotty needs to be trotting. Scotty needs to be trotting.
But I was calling.
Just Scotty. Scotty needs to be trotting. He's not. Doesn't matter what Rose does.
Okay.
Yep. There you go. Now Scotty needs to be trotting. She goes back out. She goes back out. Don't worry about him.
Okay.
Get in front of him. Turn him around. Get in front of him. Don't worry about Rose. Don't worry about Rose. Just get in front of him and get him going the right direction. There you go. If she's connected to you, she'll stay connected to you. There you go. Good. Now you got to keep playing the game. He's got to stay trotting. This is the fun part of multiple horses. Get in front of him, or get to where he's going to the left, not to the right, not to the right. He's there. You go. Now pet Rose, good girl, and then sit back on your block. Sit back on your block. Sit back. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. You can. Good girl. Nice. This isn't about her.
Come on, Mama.
It's not about her. It's not about her. There he goes. Now do we feel like he understands the assignment? Yeah, that's better. Stand up. If you're going to ask him in, go ahead and stand up. There you go. Good.
Come on, bud.
Now he gets to go past the table, and then you sit back down, and he continues to trot. And sit back down, and he now has to trot one more lap. Oh,
but he just came.
Okay. We'll let that go. We'll let that slide. You almost missed it. That's it. Now just relax. Let Bourbon do whatever he wants. This is not to do with him. He can come in. He can stay out. It does not matter.
Whew.
I know. Good job. Well done. Now here in a second.
So out of breath.
Yeah. Oh, well, he doesn't have to work that hard if he doesn't want to. Just saying. Now, when you
and Rose is surprisingly, not surprisingly, Rose is not very out of breath. She's just sweating.
She understood the assignment. She didn't make it emotionally challenging for herself. Scotty's not physically out of shape. He's just argumentative. And when he's argumentative, when you argue, you get in a heated conversation, your adrenaline gets up and you start, back and forth, and the energy gets high and the emotions are running. That's why he's sweating and huffing and puffing. Rose isn't. She did this. She probably moved more than he did. He just worked harder mentally. Now you can ask Bourbon in. You can go ahead and ask him in. Just don't make a big deal about it. He can walk out there too if he wants to. Yep. And he goes like till he gets past the gate and then just leave him alone. Yeah, they'll just leave him alone. That's okay. Because Rose is going to lay down and we need her to do that. Good. Because Bourbon is so happy just being out there on that rail, going on a little stroll by himself with his thoughts. Super happy. Rose needs to
His thoughts.
Yeah, he is. He's out there just walking and thinking. Look at Rose. She needed to do this. This is a big deal for these guys. This is a big deal. Look at Bourbon. He's nice and soft. His head's nice and down. He's like, okay, I'm happy. Leave me alone. Scotty's like, I'm happy when you're arguing with me, until he realizes how much happier he is when he's just trotting around and kind of doing, hey, look at that. This is fun too. That's all she wanted me to do. God, I could have done that. I thought she wanted to argue and fight and throw dishes. And apparently he's Greek or Sicilian. Nice. Now you can go ask Bourbon to come back in next time you get a chance. No rush, no fuss. And look at how strong your connection is now. Yeah, you can invite him in. Yeah, hi, baby. But just an invitation, right? Not this whole, I'll give you $100 to come and give me $100 to come. Just ridiculous. There we go. There we go. Now you got them all. Now go connect with Bourbon a little. He still needs to move his feet. All right. Well, never mind. Is he going to come over? Maybe. All right. There we go. Now take all three of them for a walk and just walk to the left. Just walk to the left on a circle. Don't worry about what they're doing. Just walk to the left on a circle. Just walk to the left on a circle. Yeah, there you go. Good. No, they'll follow where they want. You kind of lost Scotty. That's okay. We'll get him on. There you go. There he comes. And walk with purpose. Don't walk down like you just lost the lottery. You had to pay somebody $1 million you didn't have. Like walk with purpose and stay on the rail, just like they were doing. There you go. Good. There we go. There. Very nice. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then just walk right along the rail, right along where they were. And they're going to probably fall right back into yep. Scotty first, Rose second, Bourbon third. How did we know? Rose is like, don't make up stories about me. Oh, amazing. Amazing. And Rose probably gets to roll again. There we go. All right, talk to me. What'd you learn? What was interesting about that? Just keep walking and talking if you can.
Can you hear me still?
Yep.
Well, there's a lot going on here. Hey. I'm gonna sit in the middle.
Okay, that's fine.
They're
like, oh, look. They're like, we'll come sit in the middle with you. Oh, what a great picture. Oh, God, I'm taking a screenshot of that. That's so great. Awesome. All right, what'd you learn?
Well, I learned that, I had to calm myself down before I could even focus on what was happening, because I could feel them and I knew what was happening. I could feel them and they could feel me. And so I couldn't even like pay attention to what you were saying, because all I was feeling strongly to do was like calm myself down and breathe. And as soon as I got myself more in line, they all slowed down and stopped being so crazy. So
amazing how that works.
My energy is clearly clearly very powerful. And as long as I can keep myself calm, then I can have a calm conversation.
Mm.
Yeah, which is something that Amy and I have been talking about a lot recently. And so so that was pretty cool. And then
Yay! This is the gold, man.
um
This is the gold right here.
well, and it was also scary for a minute. Like I noticed, kudos to me, because I was like, for a second I thought about the possibility of bourbon kicking me. And then I immediately was like, no, 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 no. I'm not putting that out there. And that's when I started breathing to calm myself down.
Yeah, I could hear it.
You are sure? Because I was like,
Yeah, you sounded like Darth Vader out there. It was all good.
and then honestly, kind of not really surprised that Scotty was being Scotty, because I haven't done much with him in a while. But like, I guess it was just some reminders, like, look at how capable I am of working with
Yes.
these guys all together like this.
Yep. That's not a simple thing to do, and to really stay. I mean, we just jumped in and impromptu said, okay, I had no idea which way we were going to go with this, who needed our attention or who needed the conversation. It could have been Rose that needed your attention today but to have three horses in the ring and to actually be able to communicate with one of them, have the other one realize what you're communicating, adopt that communication and help you. Like Rose, I'm telling you, I've worked with horses for a long time. Rose is one of the smartest horses I've ever met. She is so smart. Like to see to understand the assignment, understand what you wanted to do, and to help you with it. Like she wasn't doing that to Bourbon.
No, she was really like up.
Yes.
I saw her face.
I'm tired of this. Are you serious with these circles still? You pain in my butt? Go. Didn't you hear her? She said go. And he's like, yeah, yeah, well then do it. You pain in the butt. Will you quit? Mom. Right? And then Scotty's like, Mom, Rose is biting me. And you're like, yeah, because I told her to. Clean up your room. Put your video games away and go do your homework. I want to do my homework. I want to come in and can I come sit on your lap? I want to tell you how much I love you. I'll do my homework later. And then we can't help with that. Oh, of course you can. And then you undermine everything Rose said. That's why when we said the first time, can we call him in? I was like, no, look at what magical thing is happening between you and Rose. And what was happening between Rose and Scotty, and then what was happening between you and Scotty. And poor Bourbon, he's like, I'm an extra in this movie. I'm not even getting paid, but I got to run around like,
Well, and it's so funny too, because sadly we didn't record it. But remember the first time we did this, it was such a completely different conversation.
Yes. Yes, none of them was ready for this, and Rose wasn't connected to you like this, like
at all. So
yeah,
right. So for her to have been like on my team is so interesting,
and it's really fascinating too, considering some of the things that you and I are dealing with. And that little turkey, he's such a little shit. I swear to God. And you got to take it all, with that playful attitude. You got to take it with that playful attitude, because he is very playful, and he can either be a Loki or he can be a Loki, because
if for those who don't know who Loki is or watch Loki, they have no idea what you mean by that.
Oh, but come on, everybody understands the god of mischief. He's the Norse god of mischief. I mean, who hasn't seen Thor? So, so you got to look at it from, there's playful that's playful, and then there's playful that's painful. And you got to understand that here's the big message. Here's the big domino with this. And it isn't just with Scotty's, it's with Dante's and as well. Like these bullies that show up in our life, right? They show up in our life, and they're either playful in a way that you're like, Oh my God, they're such a prankster and they're so fun and you always love to be around them. My brother Jeff was like this until he had one too many, which one was one too many for him. He just couldn't take it. And then that ridiculous playfulness, which is fun and cute, turns into mischievous and annoyance and like practical jokes that end up having you have to repaint your car. And that's where Scotty's kind of walking that fine line where he's kind of a little bit of a stinker but he's also very playful, but he has that fine line where he's like, I'm going to pop you with the towel and it's going to leave a mark and I'm going to laugh. I don't want to hang around with people that are going to play with me in that way. And he's not dangerous. He's actually kind of a cool character. But at the same time, that little naughtiness that can show up can turn into something that's very destructive. So you have to walk that fine line of nurturing their Bart Simpson, nurturing that destructive side. I kind of like it to a certain degree because I like to play like that, but not everybody does. Not everybody does.
I was kind of surprised too that he was, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that he was fighting it so much, because I thought for sure, and just what an example of like, you cannot have any expectations or any preconceived notions of how things are going to go.
Yeah.
Because I thought for sure he was going to be quick to follow suit because he did last time, and what a reminder that like you could be doing the same exercise over and over, but like what comes to me is it doesn't matter how it went the first time. This is going to be a whole new experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And maintaining your boundaries regardless of what's going on in the rest of your environment is so critical, because although Scotty is a horse and he lives with you and you aren't ever going to, he's a lifelong there are people that come into your life that are going to do that shit to you. And you have to stand strong and stalwart, and with regardless of what everyone else is happening, because you have to address it. I'm dealing with it right now. I got to go do a bunch of posts and shit to take care of something that somebody said that wasn't true. And I'm like, ugh, you Scotty coming into my space. I'm like, that's okay. I now know what that looks like. And you can either change your behavior, or it's so bad, it's so egregious that's your character. And I don't see that likely to change anytime soon. And you don't belong in my labyrinth anymore. And until you can prove to me that that's something that's systemically different inside you intrinsically, I have no interest in giving you my time, effort, energy, or resources. So I can love you over there because I have a love for all humanity. And I know that a negative attitude towards others can and will never bring me success, but you will not be in my arena if that is the way you're going to behave. And you can stay on the ring and try till you figure it out, or you can be on the outside of the circle because that is just not toterated. Now, that doesn't mean I'm an asshole or a jerk or dangerous or evil or malicious or any of those other things either. But I am a person that holds strong to my boundaries and stands in my truth. And I live by my rule, my values, and I rest well at night and I have done my best. And that was the conversation about this for him. If that makes any sense.
So do you think that now would be a good time for Amy to come in and see who goes to her?
We could absolutely do it that way. They're all very calm and responsive and respectful. Amy, I just ask that if when you do go in, you're very careful about just staying neutral, and you don't sort of subconsciously hope that bourbon comes to you, not Scotty, or vice versa. Like, just sort of allow whoever is meant to be in the space. But before you go in, I'd like to hear a little bit about what you observed and what meaning you get, what came up for you around what meaning it had.
It's on.
Not sure if Amy has a mic or not.
Wait a second. Let me see. Yeah. Hold the power button down until I say so. Until I say go.
There we go. You should have
are you holding the power button?
Yeah, she is.
Consistently?
Yeah.
Do you hear her?
No, not yet.
No.
Look, there should be a little blue button to the left of the fuzzy thing in your hand. See, there's a little blue light there, right? Yeah, where your right thumb is. Move to your left 3. There you go. There should be a little. Yeah, there you go. You see the light to the left of the fuzzy thing? Is it on? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hold it till you.
It looks like a circle with a line through it, the button.
Yes, she's pushing the right button. You just need to hold it for a little bit longer.
Yeah, you got to hold it for a while.
Till the light comes on. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Light on.
All right, here, just take mine.
Why don't you go down there, Amy? Because we're gonna put you in the arena anyway. Yeah, switch mics and then see if Daniela can get that second mic working. Yeah.
Careful one, and this is just
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you beautifully.
okay.
So what did you
Hi.
what did you learn?
Well, considering what I'm going through is everything that you just spoke about with a particular individual.
We all have our
Yeah.
Scotty in our life right now.
No, it's crazy. So first of all, I am slightly terrified of them, and I've been with them several times, and I still get nervous because I don't like. The scariest part is when they're changing directions or starting to run or kicking things, because I get nervous. Like, I'm always fearing for my safety. And then when Rose was kind of biting at Scotty, I didn't know that she was supporting him until you said it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Daniela telling me, originally when I met Daniela, she told me that Rose is sometimes finicky, and it's taken her a long time sometimes to get her to like pay attention. So I actually was very impressed and said how interesting that sometimes the ones who come across like they're so like not tough, but all over the place, really just need direction. And even if it's scary to give, when they get it, they actually do very well and back you. So that was a big one. The other thing is, so Scotty has always been my favorite because he's the smallest. And I feel the least intimidated by him.
He's the biggest pain in the butt. That's awesome.
I know. And that's the funny part. So when he was not listening, I actually started crying because Daniela like had used the string thing.
Carrot stick.
Carrot?
Carrot stick.
Carrot stick.
Yep.
So when she used that, I didn't feel bad for the horse. I cried because I have had this thing recently where I have to step up to someone and I'm very nervous. And when she did that, I started crying because I was picturing myself having to get through everything to have to do that. And then to watch the three of them follow her at the end, I was like, oh, it's so worth it though. To go through all that garbage. Yeah.
Boundaries are worth it. Brilliant distinction. Brilliant distinction. Because whoever the person is, because I'm dealing with a Scotty in my life at the moment too. And we all have those times where, you know, we gotta step up and say something like, I could just let this go and it probably would blow over. But then I would feel like I was at a restaurant the other day and I was sitting in the back, but I'm by myself a lot. Like I live by myself. I'm all I with the horses. Oh, look at Bourbon rolling and Rose rolling all at the same time. Look at this, amazing. And Scotty's like, I think I'll just hang with Mom. Shocker. But anyway, I was sitting in the back and I had my earbuds in and I was having a phone conversation. I'm in the back of the restaurant and there's a couple sitting across, you know, a little up closer to the front and sitting up front. On the way out of the restaurant, he turned to me and swung this little zinger and said, you know, thanks for sharing your conversation with us throughout the whole dinner. I didn't appreciate it, and walked out. And I thought, you know what? I have no respect for you for saying that. Now I have compassion. I get it. But at the same time, I have no respect for that because there's a lot of other actions you could have taken that would not have resulted in you sitting there throughout the rest of the meal listening to a conversation you didn't want to overhear. By the way, I'm in a public space. I'm having dinner by myself and having a phone conversation with my friend. I wasn't yelling and I wasn't doing anything that caused anybody to F-bombs or saying anything inappropriate. So agreed that, you know, the way you turn into, like, I looked at the guy, I'm like, you're such a kind of a
walk. I'm going to walk with you.
So I was like, all right, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit. I'm not going to go in there and sling a zinger and then run.
You see what's happening when you're not there, Amy.
Okie dokie.
Now we can hear.
Sorry. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I
Don't
can
touch
totally
me.
hear you now.
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay. Are you good to
I
go
will
in?
walk with them away. When you come in, you know how to put this back on? You
Yeah,
saw
sure.
it? So hold it, because I'm gonna just walk away and take them with me, okay?
And I just wrap this around it.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. All right. So, yep. Now you can come in. Look at how closely connected they are because she stood in her truth.
I just thought about something too, about how I tend to be quick to be like, can I call them in now? Like,
Yes.
how quickly am I foregoing my boundaries?
Yes. Girl, you asked me 4 times if you could bring him in. I'm like, actually, we brought him in. We probably could have left him out there longer, you know. So what I want you to do now is see, because you got the 2 that need to be out of the arena. Let Scotty go to the mounting block because that's what he's going to do. And you can just guide Rose and Bourbon. Can you just turn them out in the yard?
Yeah, I'm just gonna let them loose right here. Go walk over there, Amy. Get out of the way. Don't get in the line of fire if you don't want to be there.
Now, Amy, you go stand
Go
on
walk,
the
keep walking.
You go stand on the mounting block like Daniela was. Go just stand on the mounting block. There you go. Just go stand on the mounting block. There you go. Daniela's going to let King and Queen out, and little Lord Fortnori gets to stay behind. There you go. Now you can let them out. There we go. Now, do you have your stick, Daniela?
What do you want?
No, let me get it.
There you go.
I was going to ask Amy to give it to me, but I know.
Nope. I thank you for doing that, because I know we always like to, try and do what's like easier and whatever, but be organized and prepared, because right now you need Scotty in and Rose and Bourbon out. And there's another way you could do this. You could go get halters and all that other stuff, but don't worry about Rose and Bourbon. Just move Scotty away, right? Because Rose and Bourbon are fine. In fact, Rose, you probably won more points with Rose today than you did with Scotty. Are you letting Scotty out? Okay, no, don't let Scotty out. Now send Scotty off firmly, 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 firmly. Get him out of there. There you go. That's better. Now he's gonna go, if Mom says no, I'm gonna go ask Dad. Look at him. Lazy, lazy, lazy. The good thing about Scotty is that he also is food motivated, which can work in your favor, but also can work against you if you don't know how to do it correctly. There we go. Beautiful. Awesome. So, Amy, what I want you to visualize is this person that you have to have this strong conversation with. I want you to think about what they did, how it made you feel, and what you want to say to them, regardless of any rules of engagement. And if you want to say F-bomb, you don't have to say anything out loud. I just want you to think about it, because you need to get this out. And sometimes it's a vent, it's a rant, it's a whatever. But I'm going to tell you something. Any horse on the planet you're going to do this with, Scotty's probably the best one I know to, because you're not only going to help Daniela continue with the conversation of you, like Gandalf, you shall not pass, right? And also put yourself in a position to where when you are ready to say this stuff to this individual, you're going to do it with such elegance and with such poise and class that Jackie Onassis would applaud you, right? Like, that's the kind of level of elegance we want to actually have the conversation with, because we don't want to show up as, more Jackie, less Marilyn, right? So we want to show up with elegance and class, but we also want to get our fucking point across, right? And sometimes,
Are we still live?
yeah, we're still live. We got people watching. Hi, people watching. Make sure you're commenting and asking questions. I will be taking questions when I see them come. When I see comments come up, people are giving me likes. I don't know if I haven't seen any comments yet. Make sure you're commenting, guys. This is important stuff. All right. So now the rule of engagement is he must be trotting. You know the difference between a walk and a trot, I'm going to assume. Is that a safe assumption, Amy?
Yep, more movement fast.
Yeah, he's got to be like, it looks bouncy, whereas a walk is sort of like la la la. It's that 1-2 1-2 where they're kind of like bouncing around the ring, right? That's a trot. So now here in a second, you're gonna ask them to go around in a circle. I don't care which direction, but whichever direction you pick is the direction you're going to stick with. We went to the left and he wants to go to the right. So, okay, fine. We'll go to the right. So you're going to send him to the right. So we're going to pick the directions for you because it's easier. And he's going to be trotting. And that's it. Don't worry about that. Daniela's going to break the connection. And I'm going to send you out. So don't stress that he's walking with her. He's just walking with the strongest leader in the room, which is her. Daniela,
Where are you going?
It's now you.
You're okay.
No,
I will.
You're fine.
You're supported. You got Rose in your corner. You're good.
He's the safest one, and he's alone. You'll be fine.
You'll be all right. We're not going to ask you to do anything
fine.
that makes
Trust
you
me.
feel out of anything. And if the only thing you do right now is think about what you need to say to him and what you need to session him, then that's fine too. Daniela, if you could figure out a way to not pointing back, I've been getting feedback this time. There, let's see if that's better. Oh, God. Nope, I can still get feedback. Yeah, I'm getting feedback.
I'm turning my mic.
Yeah, no, there we go. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Amy, what I want you to do is I want you to think about the conversation you need to have with this individual, because I'm assuming you have to eventually have a conversation with them or a text or an email or a carrier pigeon or a smoke signal or some shit. So you got to have some sort of interaction with this individual. And I want you to think about what you want to say, not what you should say, not what you, any of that stuff. I want you to drop in your mind, like just like whatever that looks like. Right now, once you start get that kind of going, I want you to send it. He's set up to go to the left. So we'll stick with the left. Fine. And now he's over there going, what does she want? So what I want you to do, and you saw Daniela do it 3 times. I want you to tag the ground where he's standing 3 times. Yep. You're going to walk out to where he pooped. Yeah. See where he pooped? Okay. Daniela, let me help her. Go straight out to where he pooped 3 times. Amy, ask me questions. Don't ask Daniela questions. Because then all I hear is just words. All right. So there you go. You're going to point to the left.
Is this backing him up?
Well, no, listen to what I asked you to do. Yep. Now I want you to go over to where he pooped, and I want you to tag the poop 3 times as hard as you fucking can. Hard. I want you to go tag the poop. Tag the poop. A pile of poop. I want you to go tag it 3 times as hard as you can. I want you to go over and tag that pile of poop next to the gate 3 times as hard as you can. 3 times. Hard as you can. You tell me that's as hard as you can. I do not believe you.
I did.
That is not as hard as you can. Use both hands. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And now go back to your.
I did it
3 times as hard as you can. Ready? Hard as you can. Both hands. Overhanded. As hard as you can. That's better. Now go back to the mounting block. I still don't believe that's as hard as you can. But look, we got the desired result. He's trotting to the right. Stand on the mounting block and relax. There you go. Now put your stick down to the side and relax and just allow. Now I want you to think about this conversation you have to have with this individual. And I want you to now look at me, look at me, look at me, look at Daniela, look at Daniela, look at Daniela. Don't look at the horse. We're not going to yell at them. All we're going to do is tell them what is okay and what is not okay. It is not okay for you to look at me and take a shit on my face, which is what he just did. Right? Now, tag the ground 3 times really hard. Stay on the block. Tag the ground 3 times. 2, 3. There you go. There. Very nice. That's 4, but that's okay. See how that slowed him down because you got in front of me? That's all right. There he goes. Now relax. Put the stick down and don't look at him. Look at Daniela. Look at Daniela. Look at Daniela. Look at the camera. There you go. Where the round table is. There you go. Where you put the speaker before. That's where you're going to go. As long as he's doing what you're asking. As long as he's respecting your boundaries. Right? So now if he comes in like this, turn and tag 3 times. We're right there to your right. Tag the ground 3 times.
Here?
3 times. Right there. Totally fine. 3 times. 2, great. Now relax and use the round table. Next time, tag where he comes off of the rail in towards you, which is over by your right shoulder. That's his tendency, right? But he's doing what we want now, right? Now we feel successful. We had that strong conversation with him. Now right here is where he kind of comes off the, I didn't do it that time. All you had to do is tell him what you want. Tell him what is okay and what is not okay. You don't got to go anywhere. Now, if he comes and shits on your face, now tag 3 times straight in front of you. 1, 2, 3. All right, if you go to the left, to the right, or the other way, that's okay. We don't worry about that right this second. Look at how he didn't want to step in his own shit. He walked over there and trotted around it. There we go. Now he comes off the rail over by your right shoulder. So next time when he does that, make sure that he is respecting your boundaries, right? He comes in behind you and goes, I can get away with coming in off the rail right about here. So now turn and tag 3 times. 3 times hard. 1, 2, yes. Now stand in your truth.
So hard.
I said that was not okay. This is okay. And it doesn't matter what he does. Now turn and tag 3 times. Hold him and tag 1, 2, 3. Yes! Beautiful. This is exactly what Rose was doing when he was out there. Oh, look at that. Now he's going around to the right at a track on the rail like we wanted. You haven't burned a single freaking calorie except when I had to yell at you to tag the poop with everything you had. What does that look like? Right? Here he comes. Watch now. Watch that. Give him a little energy. Came off the rail. When he comes off of the rail, that means he comes closer to you. And he does it right about here. So now tag that spot 3 times. 1, 2, yes, perfect. Yeah. You're just reminding him that your boundaries are important, and by God, he's going to respect them. But as long as he's respecting them, we're going to respect him, right? So just relax, trust. Yes. Now, do you feel like he understands the assignment?
I feel like I understand the assignment.
All that matters with men. So now what you're going to do is you're going to step off the mountain block. You're going to look at his hindquarters, kind of like half moon pose to your left, kind of look at his hindquarters and smile and bring him in. So step off the mounting block. There you go. Yep. Step off the mounting block and you're kind of look at his hip. There you go. Beautiful. And just smile and allow him to talk to you. And the crowd goes wild. Don't pet him and don't touch him. 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 Wait for him to touch you. Because he needs to process whether or not he wants to be in a relationship with you with that new information. Because you just gave him new information. It is important that he understands the assignment. And I want you to go back to in your mind as he's standing there thinking about whether or not he wants to be your friend. And you decide in your mind whether or not you want to be this person's friend. If when you express their boundaries, they give you a positive result like Scotty did. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So if he's touched you, you now have permission to touch him, and you guys can go back to being friends and have a Chardonnay lunch.
What if he didn't touch me?
Then don't touch him.
Okay.
We'll give him a minute to think about it. Good question. Just wait for him. He'll decide and relax your energy and be friendly and open. Because he did beautifully. You didn't have to get mean or rude or nasty. You only had to get off your mounting block the one time when he was over there like, I don't know who this Amy chick is. I'm just going to poop wherever I feel like. Well, wait a minute. Amy is now the queen of the ring. Now you're not the
Whatever.
Lord of the Rings out here. You might be Lord of the Dance.
Sorry.
Yeah. Did he touch you?
Yeah, he did. He went into my jacket.
Perfect. Then you can just sit down on the mounting block and just cuddle with him. Because we want to really reward when my friends show up for me, I say thank you, right? So this is the time where we get to say thank you for showing up for me. Thank you for respecting my boundaries. Thank you for being there and coming in and making the decision to be with my friend, be my friend, because I needed to express what I needed to express. And you heard it, you respected it and acknowledged it. And now we can connect in a healthier way. Now, I could have told you that you weren't going to have to get off the mounting block unless it was like really important. But I wouldn't say because I wanted you to feel safe to be out there because I know that was a lot for you. But tell me what you learned.
Oh, yeah.
About that.
Well, first of all, I hated that Daniela got out of the ring because that was my safety net, and I literally had a minor panic attack because it's like I'm like recovering codependent. So
Mhm.
I am very used to always having like my parents around or whatever. And this is the first time I'm even in my apartment ever by myself in my life. So having
Mm.
Daniela not in the ring and like now, like this situation I have to go into next week is again by myself, but like having Daniela leave the ring was like, how dare you? Like you're literally
Mm.
here and like I had to literally, and I do a lot of meditation and breathing, but I had to literally breathe and tell myself it's okay. And I didn't
Mhm.
like the fact that my back was also to him when he was going around because I don't like
Mm.
not seeing what's behind me. So the fact that
Mm.
I trust that somebody's going to do what I'm asking them to do because I'm being strong enough. Like
Mhm.
I was scared to smack the poop because I didn't want to run and then him run after me. I was like terrified. So I'm like still
Mm.
and then I was like, all right, instead of crying, channel your energy to strengthen yourself.
Oh
And
my
then when he
God,
went around,
brilliant.
it was crazy. I'm shaking. This is like hard.
Yeah, just have a seat. Just have a seat and relax. Just chill. Be calm. Be and enjoy this success. Because now is that conversation with that individual going to be a lot easier?
Yeah.
Right? Because they're either going to show up the way Scotty did and said, and maybe ask a couple questions and maybe a little bit of pushback, but you're like, this is what is okay, and this is what is not okay. You can do whatever you want. I detach from the outcome. Same thing I told Daniela about Rose and Bourbon. This conversation has nothing to do with them. Don't worry about them. And Daniela did brilliant, like just connecting with Rose and saying, I got you. Thanks for your help. I got you. I got to go back in and get with Scotty. And she was like, done. All she had to do was touch her to reconnect. And Bourbon was just fine out there reading his Dungeons and Dragons. He was just doing his thing. It was kind of fun to watch the three of them because they're together all the time, right? And to have that conversation and to see that this right here is sisterhood. This is what it's truly about. And whatever that conversation is that you have to have, because apparently all three of us need to have one of those coming up soon, is like, it does not matter. Whatever that person has to say, whatever their response is, you cannot own someone else's response to your truth. And the truth is, this is not okay with me. And you can take with it from what you like. But I'm going to do something about it before I leave the restaurant. I'm not going to throw a zinger over my shoulder and then run for the hills. That's bullshit. You need to stand. If you're going to be in the arena, by God, be in the arena. And I'm proud of you for doing that because I know that it was nerve wracking and you have, some pretty important things coming up. So this is what I'll offer you from this perspective. Number one, be absolutely proud of yourself and acknowledge yourself for being and staying. You, Daniela, you too, staying in the arena and not calling them in too soon, too fast, opening up to yourself before they prove to you that they understand the assignment. So acknowledge yourself for that. Then also acknowledge that this conversation is going to be much easier now that you have this skill and tool available to you. And I'm going to offer you this. It's kind of a paraphrasing of what T. Harv Eker says, but he says, hard conversation, easy life, easy conversation, hard life. And we tend to want people to come in close so we can snuggle and cuddle and all those other things sooner than the hard conversations aren't being had about what your value system is, what your religious belief, how are you going to treat me on Tuesday mornings? What are you a kind of person that texts back, or am I going to have to, harass you to get a text message out of you? What do you want? What are your boundaries? What do you desire? And don't take one thing less. In the beginning, we don't know to tag the ground we don't even know that they're smashing all over our boundaries. But when we get terrified, like you were, you figure it out because you cannot be terrified for very long and live a quality life. And we raise the baseline of our tolerance for pain to live in a terrified space because we are afraid to have hard conversations. We are going to have a hard life. So have those hard conversations and you build that muscle. Is it going to be easier next time when you're out with him? 100%. Yeah, you do. I love him too.
Oh, you could hear that?
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
forgot I was wearing a microphone.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad you forgot. That's great. Now it's just you and him, you know? And now he's your friend. So now what I want you to do is what Daniela was doing is just walk around the arena a little bit. Just let him follow you around, move his feet. He's going to be super happy to do that. Don't worry about him. Just walk. Right? Not like little old lady, mall walking lady. Like walk with a purpose, walk like you mean it. Otherwise, he's going to be like, she doesn't know where she's going. I'm not sure why I'm following her. There you go. Beautiful. There. Take some deep breaths. There you go. Well done. Nice job, Amy. Well done. Well done. Yep. And he's farting back there, which is kind of a nice release. They need to move that.
I wish I could do that, and that's acceptable.
Dude, we all do it. We've all accidentally or on purpose eaten a booger in our life. Relax. It's all good. There we go. Yeah. And he's nice and relaxed. Yes. And allow that adrenaline to move through your body too. You know, roll your shoulders, move your neck a little. There you go. Cough. Get a good deep cough out. Deep breath. There you go. Beautiful. Well done. And so now as you're walking, I don't care if the camera is watching. For those of you that are watching here live, this is going to get real boring. I'm just going to be quiet for a minute, and I'm going to let you think about this conversation you need to have with this person. And just put yourself in, because he's trying to touch you now. There you go. There you go. And then just keep walking. Yeah, see, you don't want to walk in the poo either. Neither does he, stink pot. So think about this conversation you need to have and know how much visualize yourself on the other side of that conversation, however you want the relationship to be afterwards, and think about how much better your overall life is going to be because you went to the gym, exercised the muscle of boundaries, and you're able to do this on the regular. And next time it's going to be easier. And next time it's going to be easier. And the next time it's going to be easier because you're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Good. And then when he touches you again this next time, because he's gonna here as you pass the gate, my gut tells me, you can just pause where he is and just allow him to be. There we go. Good. There, very nice.
Might have to touch or no?
You can. Yep. You got permission at the mounting block. But thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Walk back over to where the round table is, and then let's wrap. Beautiful session, guys. No, I love this connection. Yeah.
Like over there, you want me to go?
Yeah. You can see a little better on the camera. So tell us tell us the whole kit and caboodle now. What was powerful? What was meaningful? How are you going to take this into your life? And Daniela, I'd love to hear from you too. And if anybody that's watching that's just joined would like to ask a question or anything, let me know. We got some really great things coming up very, very soon. That's going to be about this sort of thing. But Amy, take it away. What did you learn?
So one of my biggest fears was walking with my back to him. And as I was walking with my back to him, I said to myself, you have to be able to do things that feel difficult for you to realize that you're the person who's I'm putting the difficult title on everything. When really you don't always have to have like an emotion behind something. It can just be a conversation, and boundaries don't have to be negative. Whoa. And I'm like, oh, he's up my butt. And I was,
he might rub on you a little now. He's feeling that's okay.
No, that's good. I was always scared. I would never have my back like this to him. I told Daniela, I am very scared. And I felt also like I am really freaking proud of myself because I don't like not being in control, but control is like, because I never know what they're going to do because they spook so easily. And I don't like having conversations with people when I don't know what the outcome is going to be and I don't know the reaction. So I literally was standing there smacking the ground, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, don't be scared. I was like, it's okay if you're scared. It's okay if you're scared, but like, do it anyway. It's like, you're fine. And I'm like, it's fine. So I did that. And then when I was touching him, I was even still nervous to sit as opposed to standing because I didn't want him to hurt me, even at the end. And I was like, just allow and give love. Like, your intention is this animal is not going to attack you. Like, you're fine. He's not going to bite you.
Yes.
So I learned that you have to do with love, even if it means asserting yourself. It's not being mean, it's asserting with love. And that I pictured the individual's face on his face. And I said, that individual is just a person doing what they think is best. You just have to give your boundaries and uphold it, because otherwise it's stressful for the other person too, because they don't know how to act.
That's right. Gold stars.
Breathe.
And to experience that, like, so to have this experience with a horse, to give you that lesson, you're never going to forget this. You will never forget this for the rest of your life. You won't forget that day that we did the cha-cha where I moved his foot, moved his foot, moved his foot, moved his foot, moved his foot.
Yeah.
Did. But look at what you have, as a result.
This is crazy.
It's priceless.
I did this. This
You
is crazy.
Yeah. And I'm going to say a few things. Like, first off, acknowledge yourself. Daniela, is there a way for you to turn the speaker away? Let's see if that is any better. I'm just hearing everything I'm hearing twice. I think it's because it's near the thingy. Anyway, whatever. But to acknowledge yourself for being in the arena. First off, that's first and foremost. You cannot do it if you're not in the arena. Second off, like, thank you for trusting me. And thank you for trusting Daniela, and trusting this experience itself, it's important.
Gentle.
Yeah, he might rub on you like
your boundary.
Yeah,
right
now. You can move him away.
How do I do that?
So turn around and face him.
Well, this is okay, sort of. I just don't want his head hitting me.
Well, right.
And
So
turn him
then
around the back
just
way.
with the stick, just 1, 2, 3.
I can't see your hand.
With the,
Oh, okay. It's done anyway.
Doesn't matter. So here's the other
Felt it.
do you know what a jumping jack is?
Yes.
Okay, put the stick down, and without regard for him, put the stick down. Put the jumping around, yeah. Now, without the regard for him and without moving your feet, face the rail, face me, face the camera, face me, face up here, face up here, face up here. Thank you. Now, don't move your feet any further to the left. I want you to stay exactly where you are. I don't want you to worry about him. I don't want you to worry about hitting him or whether or not you're going to. I want you to 10 military jumping jacks. Don't move to the left.
Just my arms?
Nope. Do full 10. You know what a jumping jack is, right?
Like with my legs, you want me to jump?
Do you know what a jumping jack is?
I do. I understand the assignment. I'm just a little nervous. So I'm doing a full 10 jumping jacks. Got it.
10 full jumping jacks. Do not worry about your right arm hitting him. 10 full jumping jacks. Go. Don't move to the left.
Sorry.
That's okay. 2, 3, 4. There you go. 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's good. Now, do you feel like he's a little bit out of your space?
Kind of. I also I moved to the left because I was scared that he was going to freak.
Yeah. Okay.
So
now stay where you are and do 5 more jumping jacks. Arms 2. Don't worry about hitting him. Don't worry about your right arm. There you go.
I'm sweating. I'm so nervous.
That's better. Now do 5 more. 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Now stop.
I know. They make me do crazy things. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
But he's not in your space.
That was very good.
In your space. And you didn't make it about him. If you had turned, you can. Okay, now 5 more jumping jacks. 5 more jumping jacks.
What is she saying?
5 more jumping jacks.
I'm going to hit the horse.
That's good. Hit the horse. 2, 3, 4, 5. Better. Right? There you go.
Yeah, you try.
Now you see how he's like kind of like putting his head in the air and all that sort of thing. When you start doing that, he's now going, ugh. Okay, now 5 more jumping jacks. And don't worry about smacking him. He's
I feel
smacking
it's
you.
a horse.
He's gonna move. Trust me. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now take a half a step to your right. There you go. Now do your jumping jacks from there. 5 jumping jacks. All the way up. Don't worry about if you hit him or not. Don't move to your left.
Sorry.
Don't move.
I get nervous.
Your spot. Do 5, 2, 1 step. There you go. Now do 5 jumping jacks. Don't worry if you hit him in the face with your hand. Your little hand, trust me, is not going to hurt him. Right, 3, 4, 5. There you go. No extra charge for the personal training session. Okay, good. How do you feel like you're in your personal space?
No, we're okay now.
There you go. You're like, damn, even if he was, I don't want to do 5 more jumping jacks. It's a hard conversation. The jumping jack is the hard conversation because you're worried you're going to hit him in the head. You're worried he's going to freak out. You're worried he's going to do something. So you go over in the hallway and do the jumping jack with all of your buddies, and you talk about what you now 5 jumping jacks. Do not move to your left. 5 jumping jacks. 5 jumping jacks. Hot, all the way up. There you go. 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Good. Good. There. Anytime he puts his nose over to you that's in your space a little, just do 5 jumping jacks. And don't worry about whether or not you're going to hit him in the face. Guess what? I saw him canter pretty freaking fast a few minutes ago. He can move his head away from your little hand. There. Much better. Much better. And it's these hard conversations, these small 5 jumping jacks, 5 jumping jacks.
Just
5
kill me, bro. Kill me.
Don't move to your left. Don't worry about whether or not you hit him. There. Good. There. Excellent. Good. 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 There. Good. You gotta do nothing. That's just it. You can't be worried about whether or not they're going to freak out or text their friends about you or anything. You can't worry about that. You got to say, I have a right to own this space. I live on this planet just like you do. I'm an earthling just like you are. And I choose 5 jumping jacks because you're in my space.
He does not listen very well.
Yeah, well, then do 5 more.
I really want to. Oof, he's a little breath.
There you go. Now use your right hand a little bit more. Tell it yes. Like as if a drill sergeant was telling you to do 5 jumping jacks. To where your arms are straight. They go all the way up above your head and all the way down next to your side. 5, like that. Now, don't worry about hitting him. Don't worry about hitting him. Be firm. There, that's better. Right. Good. Now, the next time he does it, you're going to continue to do jumping jacks until he moves his feet to the right. So you're going to either get real tired or you're going to get affected or you're going to walk out of the ring and hate me for the rest of your life. But I'm telling you right now, this is super important that you get this. Because he's going to turn his head to the left and come into your space in just a minute because he's a stinker. Yep. So now, jumping jacks till he moves to the right. Right? And now you're going to have to go to the right.
The right, sir.
To your right, move to your right, move to your right. As you do jumping jacks, move to your right. There you go. Don't bluff him. Don't bluff him till he moves his feet. You got to get something till he keep going. You got to not bluff him. You've been doing this for how long? We're like, that's not being effective. Don't worry about whether or not you hit him in the face with your little hand. You're not going to hurt him, I promise. There you go. Now move to the right until he moves his feet. I know that I can do this because you're athletic. Thank God. I can't do this with people that aren't athletic. You got to keep going until he moves his feet, right? And go up close to his nose because we want to move his there. Keep going. Now move to the right. Yeah! Stop. Yes!
Sweating.
Yes. Good. Now, we got to get affected sooner, right? So had you done that?
Because I felt bad. It's because I felt bad. And then I was scared. These people, they make me feel bad because I allow them to make me feel bad for being me and for expressing my fucking morals.
There's the real Amy coming out. No, don't call him back in.
You know why? Because I'm so nice all the time. And I think that expressing myself other than giving love is mean. And I don't want to be mean, but it's not mean. You're fucking listening. I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize. I want you to celebrate this. That's huge. This is a huge deal.
This is hard.
Congratulations. Congratulations. You just did hard things.
I feel pretty good about it. He's over there. How do you like them apples? Oh, shit. Sorry.
Right? Jumping jacks, jumping jacks, jumping jacks, jumping jacks. Right? Till he moves his feet. Till he moves his feet. There you go. Good. There you go. One more step. Keep going. There. Good. And that's enough. Good. Stop. There we go.
I got such a.
Yeah. No, stop. You're good. Session over. Session over. We do not want to have to open another can of worms today. That was enough for you. So now climb over and get out of the arena. Climb up. No, get out of the arena right now. Just climb over and get out. Yes, climb over and get out. Yep, just climb over. Bye, Scotty. See ya.
Oh,
because we're going to start another conversation if not, right? Can you feel that? Can you feel that if you stayed in that,
yeah.
Continue to fuck with you.
Yes.
So
Oh my God.
A beginning, middle, and an end to the conversation. Because, and if there's any way we could move the speaker to where it doesn't throw feedback, that would be fabulous.
To the laptop, so it's no longer.
Oh my God.
The actual main speaker.
Is it okay?
Stay here.
Yeah, there. That's fine. That's much better. Whatever you're doing now, I don't have the feedback. All right. So tell me what we learned.
Stop being so concerned about what somebody else is going to do to you and their uncertainty of what is going to happen.
Yep.
And just do what's good for you if it aligns to you.
That's right.
And, well, it's like, if it aligns to me, it's not coming from like a bad place. Just do it. Somebody else's reaction is going to be their reaction. You know what it is? It's a lot of effort. You have to have effort and you have to be convicted that your effort is going to help you in the long run, because it takes a very long time for me to get things done. And when I do them, it goes great, but it's so much more effort to have to sit in silence like that for so long.
You should never have to be like that, right? Now, here's the thing. I'm going to share something with you about this that's really important. There's something in my coursework. There's something that we do. It's called the 6 C's of a boundary. The number 1 C of a boundary is that you have to be comfortable with it. And if you're still concerned about what he's going to do or how he's going to react, you're going to still do your jumping jacks a little bit away from him so you don't rock the boat. So you were not ready to do jumping jacks until he moved his feet. At the beginning, that would have been very hard for me to have convinced you to do. But when you just do a few and then you build that muscle and then you do a few more and you build that muscle, then we can say, okay, I'm comfortable really telling them to F off, right? Because you got to do it in a way that isn't about them. You're like, dude, I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm doing jumping jacks. Why are you trying to get up? Why is me doing jumping jacks inhibiting your ability to occupy space? Why is my doing jumping jacks, having this conversation, whatever it is that you're doing, have anything to do with your ability to make a living, feed your family, live a quality life? None of those things are affecting them in that way. He just needed to move his feet 2 inches. So to be able to be comfortable with your boundaries and be stronger with them sooner, you're not going to get the headache. You're not going to wear yourself out doing jumping jacks, trying to get somebody to understand what's important to you in this sweet, loving way, because you're a sweet, loving person, and leave there going, why can't I just get them to understand me? Why won't they listen to me? Well, because our boundaries, we're not comfortable with the boundary that this individual needs in order to be respectful to my space. And until I get comfortable with it, I'm not going to be able to be clear about what it is, because I'm not really even sure what it is, because I'm so scared and uncomfortable in the first place. I won't be able to communicate it. And the only reason only way you know that it's been communicated is they actually take the action. That's the number 1 thing. You think that, you stop doing the jumping jacks, but they're still kind of sticking their nose in the window looking for a slice of pie. They didn't move their feet, which is why we didn't stop until he moved his feet, until he took the action and did what we said was important to us. And if you're going to be in this arena with me, we're going to have this level of mutual respect and mutual understanding about boundaries. You weren't all up in his business. You weren't shoving his nose up his butt, right? And then being consistent with it, which is Daniela's, what we worked on with Daniela, right? The consistency of it and being like, oh my gosh, I just realized that I have a pattern of bringing horses in too early, too soon, too fast. And now I need to be more consistent about what I want in my relationships. So that one session probably gave both of you such incredible insights about your whatever you have going on in your relationship world right now. I can't even imagine. And knowing you both to the level I know you, to ask too much about it right now, you got a lot to think about. Make sure that you journal this, make sure that you drink, stay hydrated, and you meditate around what just happened, because it was huge. Daniela, you want to weigh in? Oh, I can't hear you. I think your mic's off. Oops, it's muted something. Nope. Give us just a second, guys. Why did it stop? There we go. Maybe. There we go.
Yeah. You hear me now?
Yeah. What did you say that was so funny?
I said reporting live. I was like holding this thing going, reporting live. Because now I'm trying to, I got the camera here, I got the laptop here, I got the microphone. There's a lot happening. This was, of course, I want to look at you, but like maybe I should look at this.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I want to hear what you have to say.
I mean, there's so many things to say, and there's probably going to be so many more by tomorrow, you know, because I definitely, there's an impatience. There's a do it quick, get it done. Well, and even I'm in there. I wanted to be in there. And then it was mayhem for a minute. And I was like, I immediately regret this decision. like I was in there, and it wasn't, I'm not really scared of Scotty or Rose, but Bourbon, sometimes I feel like I can't turn my back on him sometimes, from like, I still think there's a trust issue there.
Totally.
And so when he was coming in close, I was like, this motherfucker better not fucking kick me. You know,
there was a few times when he was behind your back where he was zinging that hoof like straight at your back. He was a good 6 feet away, but he's still behind you, so in the air.
Right. So for a couple minutes, it was very clear to me that I was very scared of him. Not any of the other two. I don't ever feel like that. Like, I feel like if I exert myself with them, they will respect it. Whereas with him, I think sometimes he will retaliate in a malicious, I don't want to say malicious, but maybe a little bit of a malicious way, right? Because we're not there yet, Bourbon and I. So
right.
I had to, that's when I was like, I could not register anything you were saying. Like, and you were saying things, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck she's saying right now. Like, so I just had, that's what I think I at one point might have even said, I can't even listen to you. I need to I need to bring myself down. And so all I did was just breathe. And thank God I have that tool, right?
Yes.
It's breathing is so monumentally huge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was, and as soon as I calmed down, they calmed down too. There wasn't as much of running in the center and getting that, you know, the kicks. And so, and then I was able to hear you. So there's not a lot of situations that get me to that point, but certain people, family members, I have had to breathe to get through certain conversations with, and I've gotten better. But like you said to Amy, so much easier than that scenario, right? Like,
Yeah,
Um,
it's so
and
true.
yeah, so there was that feeling of wanting to get out, like maybe I shouldn't do this, but I wasn't going to because we're live and Amy's here and people are watching, right? But like, had it just been me and you, I don't know, maybe I would have been like, you know what, Jen, I can't do this today. Like, I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? But then, gosh, so much. And then Scotty surprising me. And so really just a lot of realizing that I am quick on the trigger with a lot of things. And as much as I've actually gotten better at that, there's still room for improvement.
Yeah.
Because I'm so much better than I used to be, if you can imagine that. Like, I'm sure years ago I would have left that arena and not even stayed.
There's a few times when I was first up in New York at the time, I would be squawking orders at you and you were like, no. just no. And it's all about the triggers. And listen, the things that happen in that arena with those horses, like they're back out there eating grass. They don't care. But you look at that and you go, oh my God, this is exactly what's happening with Joe or Jill or Susie or whatever. And I got to deal with it. Now I know what emotional state I need to be in to have this conversation in a way that I'm going to have a chance at a better outcome. Now, I may not be able to do the jumping jacks till they move their feet right off. I'm still human too, and it still may be ugly and gross, and I'm a second grader. That's okay. You're still building that muscle and you're still in the arena. That's the big piece. Once you get out of the arena, you've given up. You know.
Well, that's exactly it. And so I knew I just needed to calm myself down. That's what I recognized that. And so I did that. So
yeah, and really huge kudos to both of you. There's really, really incredible opportunities to acknowledge the learning that just happened. So poor Amy probably needs
and I mean, honestly, I did all the hard work for Amy. Amy got it.
And that's cool. We weren't sure.
I'm talking about
Scotty, going to show up.
Scotty. Scotty could have been way more difficult for you in there. He was so good with her.
Yeah,
really good.
That was a big thing here.
You did, but I'm saying that could you imagine how much more difficult it could have been for you? That maybe it wouldn't have been. Like teamwork. You did great.
It was good teamwork.
So,
but it's good to know.
And we orchestrated again. We don't generally have like a plan, but we had a plan this time. Like we set this up intentionally for Daniela because I wanted you to see the horses in motion and wanted you to see, because think about this. Where do we get belief systems? Why is it scary? Why is a horse scary? If you've never seen a horse before and no one in any of your family's history had ever seen a horse before, what frame of reference would you have for it to be anything other than a big cuddly dog? So you got that belief system that horses are big and terrifying somewhere, because you ever see these little kids and they go up to the big horse and they, kiss them on the nose and everything. And I'm like, oh, a little bit irresponsible, their parents, but okay. But they're like, they don't have any fear, like, oh, horsey. And then for whatever reason, we adopt this belief that having these conversations is going to end up with us, ostracized or rejected, or our business is gonna fail, or we're gonna live our life alone for the rest of our lives. And when you kind of get okay with all of those scenarios, you really become unfuckwithable. And I really want to make everybody that comes through my programs or works with me at all as unmesswithable as possible. That doesn't mean that you're arrogant or unloving or discompassionate or unempathetic or any of those, or have any kind of lack of understanding about human design. In fact, no, it actually gives you an opportunity to do that more so, because people, like Amy said, great distinction. She said it was so brilliant. It was, and now people are more comfortable around me because I don't act, unpredictably or impulsively, and they know what is and isn't okay, and they can relax. If you know that it is okay to just walk in my house and help yourself to whatever in my fridge, you can relax and not have to ask that question. You don't have to go, oh, hey, is it okay if I grab a soda out of the fridge? And I'll be like, well, good luck with that. I don't usually have soda, but you can grab whatever you want. So, But that's communication, and that's the mutual understanding. Have you ever had someone that was so strongly boundary that they walk in the room and you're like, I'm going to ask, nope, never mind. I'm not going to ask them, because you know damn good and well they're going to say no. Now you ask anyway if you're anything like me, because I ask everybody all the time. I'm just that way. But if I know, but I say, hey, I may have caught him on a good day. So I don't put that into space, right? But the reason I get away with it with most people, some people think that I'm kind of a pushy, lovey with the 2x4 and sandpaper on your sunburn kind of chick. Fine, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm okay with that. I don't want everybody drinking my cup of tea anyway. So, but when the people that I do show up for, I'm gonna ask all the time. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna love on you. I'm gonna give to you. And that's just who I am. And the way I do it, is that I do it with this childlike curiosity that I have when I go out and play with a horse. As like I was on the phone with a lady that one day, and it was our first conversation, and I was like, "Hi, nice to meet you." And I asked her probably a little too early. I was like, "Hey, so how can I help?" And she's like, "I don't need any help." I was like, "Woof, boy, maybe you need some help," just with that statement, right? So by the end of the call, I mean, I was like, wow, obviously, I was like, okay, see you later. Have a nice day. Hope but it's just coming across from that innocent childlike perspective. Like, what is this here to teach me? How can I serve? Who can I help? And when you ask those kinds of questions, like, what can I learn here? And to be vulnerable and to get out there in the arena and trust me to direct you, and hope that the Wi-Fi works enough that you aren't out there and we can't hear me, which happens sometimes, technology, fine. But to trust me to do that, that's a big deal. That's a big deal, because now you have a clearer understanding too about the people that you love and care about that really have your back. Who are the roses in your life that are biting the Scotties for you? Look for those people. Yeah, exactly. You're standing you both point at each other. I'm pointing at both of you. Right. Yeah. Like, I'm with Stoop. I'm with this girl. Yeah. And call me crazy. Island of Misfit Toys over. Yes, precisely. Precisely. So I really acknowledge both of you for being in the arena, and thank you for allowing me to serve you and help you and support you on your journey. And I hope that this has been an incredible and helpful conversation. I can't believe you believe it. We've been on almost 2 hours.
Dang.
Yeah. This has been one of our longest, Free Coaching Fridays ever. I think we went an hour and a half the one time, but it's okay, because you both needed this. You both needed it. Me too. Yeah.
Thank you. It was great. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah.
You're the best.
We need more roses in our life. Mm-hmm. We do. We definitely do. So I'm actually going to be starting a new group coming up that is people that do a lot of personal development, that don't want to be sold, that just want to be there to support each other. Everybody coming out with that pretty soon. We are going to be talking about Daniela's place, my friend Misty's place, my place, whatever you have offering, your stuff, Amy, that your nutritional stuff that we want to share. And it's just going to be an open forum. Like, there's too many mean girls out there.
Mean girls. So true.
Yeah.
It really is.
No more mean girls, So we're going to be doing that here soon. So stay tuned. And I've got, if you all are interested in coming and experiencing this live, of course, Daniela's place is in the Hudson Valley area, just outside upstate, just on the south side of upstate New York, just outside the city, about an hour, a little over an hour from the airport in Chester, New York. She's got a beautiful 24-acre property there. Horses like what you experience if you've watched this live or follow us at all. Make sure you're continuing to join us on Free Coaching Fridays, Friday Fridays, however you want to call it. We always have a great time. We always have huge, beautiful insights, and we always end up with a little bit more belief in ourselves as we continue to change and shape our lives to what we desire, which is important. Heaven forbid we actually get what we want, without having to be so worried about what everybody else wants. Like, that's not arrogance. That's self-awareness. Any questions?
Nope. I'm signing off because my fingers are cold, and I don't know how my laptop's doing in the cold, but it's survived.
Doing well so far. Next week, maybe we'll have me out at the barn and we can turn the tables a little, and I can play with one of my guys, or we can have
Yes.
So, all right, see you guys next week every Friday at around the 1 o'clock hour. We do these lives, and if you want to reach out to either Daniela or myself, I'm in West Palm Beach area, Florida, Wellington, Florida area with my horses, and she's up in New York, and we're doing some pretty great stuff. So thanks for tuning in. For those of you that did, reach out if you're interested, and remember to believe in yourself. It will change your life. Ciao, ciao.